It's time for business. Sandra is here. Hello, Sandra.
Hello. Receiving text messages, not receiving text messages.
Well, text messages not coming through.
Yes.
And then the customers of the defunct micro savings and finance and savings loans and finance are complaining.
And then the receiver will also be speaking in business.
Okay, that's good.
Celebrating 25 years of joy, I am Sandra Esinam Apenu, and I'm here for business. In our first story tonight, the receiver for defunct savings and loans and microfinance institutions says it has so far issued over 1,000 messages via WhatsApp and emails for full payments of affected customers. This will be the second batch of payments aside 800 messages that were sent yesterday. Spokesperson for the receiver, Philomena Kujo, tells Joy Business some of the messages may have delayed due to huge numbers involved. Ebenezer Sabote has more in the following report.
Almost 2,000 customers are expected to receive their confirmation of full payments from the receiver's office. Spokesperson for the receiver, Philomena Kuzo, confirmed to Joy Business that an account has been created at the Consolidated Bank Ghana for all customers to access their funds.
The message will say, "Dear," and then your name, and it will tell you that the full amount, your full amount, has been paid into an account, a CBG account, and then the account number is provided. So that is what you take to CBG and proceed from there.
How do you come up with such accounts?
Okay, for the data that we get, we deal with. When we prepare the data, we send the data to CBG, and they create these account numbers for all these depositors. So once they create an account number for you, it means you've been paid. Initially, when we started and we're paying the caps, these account numbers were virtual, but now these are account numbers that are real account numbers that they've created this time around.
She has been justifying why some may not be able to receive their messages by close of day on Tuesday. She advised customers to exercise patience as it continues with the process.
The text messaging, you know, we are all using gadgets, so there's likely some will drop, some may not go. What we do is that for the undelivered messages that we get at our end, at the end of the day, we recompile them and send again. We keep sending until for some reason, maybe due to wrong numbers, the messages don't go through. We look at that. So we get back to them through calls. Some I send emails if I can to them. But definitely you need to get an SMS to be able to get your money.
Meanwhile, some customers have confirmed receipt of text messages to indicate that their funds are ready for withdrawal.
Meanwhile, as of midday today, our checks at some branches of the Consolidated Bank Ghana in Accra indicate customers are yet to access their funds. Let's hear from the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers, Idrisu Mubarak.
We've gone around most of the CBG banks, and then the information on the ground is that the MD of the managing director for CBG is now trying to come out with the modalities, which are the procedures that are going to be involved in the payment. And these modalities included, text messages that we are going to receive as affected depositors or customers. So we were like, if that is the case, the CBG director, they should have thought of this and then maybe start something earlier prior to even the president's promise, so that as the president stated emphatically that on Monday the payments will begin, so that at least text messages could have started coming on the 24th. But notwithstanding that, whatever happened has happened. So we haven't received any text message. From Monday, which is on the 24th, we have not received any text message. And we have a very large group of individuals which are affected customers. And we have some of them on the WhatsApp platforms. Some we have them on Telegram and other social media platforms. And we communicate a lot because we have regional heads of the coalition for savings and loans customers who are affected. That's the CASLOC group. Yes, we have a very large unit and all regional heads of every region, 16 regions. So we communicate with them, and they have also been communicating with their own others within their region. And no show, honestly, no show, nothing is happening.
All right, so Idrisu Mubarak joins me in the studio now, and he is the Greater Accra regional chairman of the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers. Thanks so much for your time, sir. And so you heard the receiver there. She promised that if you don't get it through text messages, you get emails and sometimes even calls. You complained as of midday today that you are yet to receive calls, pay your checks with your members. Has the situation changed?
Sorry. I wish to say good evening to our viewers, and then I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. But the question you just asked, I'll go straight forward by answering you, and that is, we have not received any update yet. If I'll go a bit back towards what the receiver's spokesperson said, they laid more emphasis on, how do you call it, the text message issues. And if you check, they were saying that without the text messages, nobody should visit the bank's premises whatsoever, that you are coming to access your fund. And it's fair enough, it's good. Since we are also citizens, we need to listen to them and obey instructions.
Right.
So my team and I, none of us, we are over 6-point-something million affected customers nationwide. Yes, but we have Telegram pages, we have WhatsApp pages, and other social media pages which we communicate easily so that we can ask. And you mean
this for medium of communication is very active, and you can assure us that you've reached everybody and they have not received the text messages?
Okay, in this case, the easiest way to even get them is we have regional heads or regional unit. So every region has its own people. So when information is sent down there, it is disseminated. So everybody who picks it up comes out to say something about it.
And you want to say that the 1.6 that you're talking about, nobody has confirmed?
It's 6.4.
6.4.
The affected nationwide.
Nationwide.
A million, yes. Nationwide. Customers,
you're in touch with everybody?
No, we are not in touch with everybody, but our group is the Coalition of Affected Savings and Loans Customers.
So you have reps of these groups?
These particular groups, which is across all the 16 regions of Ghana.
Right.
You get it, good. So with all these representatives, we communicate. You get it, we communicate.
All right, another issue that we are picking, our sources are telling us that the receiver is trying to deal with institutions before dealing with individuals. I want to know whether your group is made up of institutions and individuals. If yes, have they confirmed? If no, what do you have to say about that?
All right. To me personally, I would have been very grateful if these institutions, I learned it was something including churches and industries and whatever, they should mention them. Those to whom they've done such payments to or text messages, they should mention them so that such institutions, whether it's the school, it's the industries, whatever it is, they also come out with their feedback.
By your institution, your coalition, do you have institutions as members?
Okay, there could be members who will be part of such industrial institutions that they are talking about, or the whatever it is that they are talking about. We could have some of our members who will be affiliated to such institutions, such industrial, but we are not known, or they've not informed us about it. But please, if you check, if they were even part of it, when we asked our questions on our platforms, most definitely they will come out to tell us.
All right. Well, the biggest issue is, yes, the president was very emphatic about everybody receiving their money. He promised and his words were clear. So one will ask you, yes, we have delays. Monday he promised, it didn't work. Today you are yet to receive text messages. But what's the cause for alarm here? Are you doubting the president of the republic?
To me, for when it comes to the presidential aspect, I have a lot of doubt in that sector.
Why do you say so?
I'll plead with you to give me a little...
We don't have time, so just make it
all right, just
so
briefly.
that we can wrap up.
So the president came out on... just a minute, please. Good. So we have the president who came out on the 26th of... Prior to the president's coming, we have the receiver who came out on the 19th of August 2019 to make promises of whatever it is that we will be receiving the cash, and nothing happened. And it came down to the president himself on 26th of December evening. I think he has an evening press release. Yeah, okay. Yes, which nothing happened. And then we have the Ministry of Finance, which is the finance minister also said something, which later you can cross-check. Nothing happened. The vice president town hall meeting at Kumasi also, he made mention, they spoke about this, that the payment to be done, nothing happened. And then came the president again on the sonar, and then so we are yet to...
you are doubting the president and then the receiver to make payment, and you think this is game?
That is, you see, for now, the reason why to me personally, and then speaking on behalf of my members, the reason why we are still having doubt about this is all this inconsistency, or should I say excess promises and nothing happening. Until you receive your money in your account, you can't be sure of what is going on.
Unfortunately, we have to leave it here. I'm sure we'll be following up on this development, and we pray that you get your money soon. Idris Mubarak is the Greater Accra original chairman of the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers, and we've been discussing the issue with the receiver and affected persons with the savings and loans and microfinance institution. That's how we wrap up for the first part of business. I am Sandra S. and I'm back after 8 p.m. with more business. And you do stay tuned. Hello again, my name is Sandra S. and I'm up and let's do more business. European investors are repositioning to invest in SMEs that are concerned about the climate at a Trade for Sustainable Development project at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Some SMEs were exposed to regulations in the European market. Charles Haite has more in this report.
Many Ghanaian SMEs are losing out on business opportunities from the European market. This is not because their products don't meet the standards, but rather due to failure of these SMEs to adopt environmental safety standards. Responding to the challenge, the International Trade Center IFC has started a rigorous training program for the SMEs in Ghana on how to implement green business standards in their service delivery. Joseph Wozniak is the head of the Trade Sustainable Development, who spoke to Joy Business at the ongoing training session by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA.
The idea here is that you can reduce your operational costs, and that obviously improves your overall bottom line and improves your return on investment. And that also is very useful in terms of exports, because more and more buyers, whether they're in the European Union or whether they're in North America, they are looking for sustainable producers to which to buy from.
So what does this mean for Ghana's export margins? Samuel Dentu is Deputy CEO of GEPA.
Some strategies have been recommended for them by these coaches, and today we are meeting to present those strategies to them and possibly match them with some technology providers, as well as some financing companies, banks for that matter, to help them implement those strategies.
The Trade for Sustainable Development programs aims at improving the operation costs of SMEs nationwide. The all-year program is to strengthen SME competitiveness through the implementation of green business practices.
In other news tonight, President of Africa Policy Think Tank, Imani Franklin Kujo, says calls for a reduction in fuel prices at the pumps is not feasible as the market is deregulated. He added it is not automatic for prices to start going down due to temporal factors.
Well, it's a deregulated market, and I suspect there are reasons why they are not doing so. I don't think there's only one price at the pump. Is there? I think Gold has reduced its prices, hasn't it? Well, I guess, again, it's a liberalized market, and I think people should take their options. There are other fuel stations that may be selling quite low. I'm not too sure. It's not so automatic at every point in time to be seeing these things pass through. But I'm sure at the right time, these things...
Company reducing it, people say it's too insignificant. 0.2% is insignificant considering the stability of the city.
Well, then it should be more. You see, let me tell you one thing. The thing not to start jubilating about and start behaving like an Arabian prince is that the fact this appreciation is not going to last. That's the point people need to understand. It's not going to last. So the moment you start jubilating and start acting recklessly, you're going to have X on your face. I think that is the only reason I can give for this. Let's wait for it. Let's study it for a while and see whether the impact can be felt greatly. But if there are noticeable changes, we should appreciate.
Gold is still shining following the devastating effects of the coronavirus on crude oil prices. The precious mineral traded today for $1,645.08 an ounce. There's more in the commodity news. But before we go, let me remind you that the Multimedia Group is celebrating 25 years of Joy. Keep loving Joy by logging on to our website, myjoyonline.com/business. I am Sandra Esinamapenu. Thanks for watching.